I never believed humiliation could arrive dressed as lace and roses, but that was exactly what happened the day my only son got married. The church smelled of lilies. White bows decorated every pew. Guests leaned forward, smiling, whispering about how handsome David looked. I walked in, clutching the small lavender clutch I'd sewn myself. My palms sweated inside my gloves. Today was supposed to be joy, not survival. "Margaret, over here," an usher said, pointing me toward the front row. My chest swelled. That's where Mother sat. That's where I belonged. But Emily, my soon-to-be daughter-in-law, stepped into my path. Her smile was stretched tight as ribbon. "Margaret," she said, lowering her voice, "I need you to sit further back. That front seat is for my mom." My jaw dropped. "I'm David's mother." "You understand," she whispered. "Please don't make a scene." An usher took my elbow and steered me away. I felt stares following me as I was led down the aisle, past cousins, past neighbors, past every witness to my erasure. Finally, the usher stopped at a pew near the back, beside strangers who gave me pitying smiles. That was the moment I knew I wasn't family anymore. The ceremony blurred. David stood tall at the altar, eyes fixed on Emily. He never turned to look for me. He never saw the empty space where I should have been. When he said, "I do," my throat closed around unshed tears. I remembered nights I worked 2 jobs so he could have sneakers like the other boys. I remembered selling my wedding ring after his father died just to cover his tuition. None of that bought me a seat at his wedding. At the reception, humiliation doubled. I searched for my name card at the family table. It wasn't there. Instead, I found it at table 14, back by the restrooms. Emily's coworkers filled the seats around me. One leaned over politely. "So you're the groom's mother? Congratulations!" He glanced at the head table where Emily's mother sat beside David, laughing, radiant, adored. His smile faltered. He looked away, embarrassed for me. Every toast, every laugh, every clink of glass excluded me. When the parents' dance began, David twirled Emily's mother under the lights. Applause thundered. No one called my name. I sat frozen in my chair, whispering to myself, "I am his mother." No one heard. Later, I tried to approach. I touched David's arm, my voice shaking. "Sweetheart, I'm so proud of you." He stiffened. Emily slid between us, her manicured hand covering his. "Thank you, Margaret. Please enjoy your table." Laughter bubbled around us. My cheeks burned. I backed away, clutching my lavender clutch so tight my knuckles whitened. I left before the bouquet toss. In the parking lot, I sat behind the wheel, breathing hard, trying not to cry. My phone buzzed. A friend's text. "How was the wedding? Did you have a special seat?" I typed back, "It was beautiful." And I lied. At home, I lay in bed replaying it all. The usher's hand guiding me away. Emily's whisper. David's silence. That was the moment I knew I wasn't family anymore. I did not sleep that night. I lay awake replaying the usher's hand on my elbow. Emily's whisper, David's silence. By dawn, my phone buzzed. "David, morning, can we talk?" I typed back, "Yes." The call came seconds later. "Hi, Mom," he said, voice clipped. "We need to clear the air." I steadied my breath. "Yes, we do." He didn't wait. "You made things difficult yesterday." My chest tightened. "I made things. David, I was told to sit in the back. I was left off the parents' dance. I didn't say a word. You walked up during the cake cutting. You grabbed my arm in front of everyone. I touched my son to say I was proud. You made a scene." I pressed the phone harder to my ear. "Emily told me to go back to my table. So, did you see that?" "I didn't," he said flatly. "You didn't look," I whispered. He sighed. "Look, Emily's mom raised her alone. She deserves recognition. We made choices. You have to respect that." "Respect," I repeated. "Is that what you call erasing me?" "That's unfair." His tone hardened. "Mom, we need boundaries. You've been too involved. Money, decisions, opinions, it's a lot. Emily feels pressured." "I gave what you asked for," I snapped. "Rent when you lost your job, tuition, down payment. You begged me, David. I never held it over you." "Your tone holds it over me," he said, my voice cracked. "I sold my ring for you." He didn't answer right away. Then, Mom, we're married now. Things are different. We've decided to pause the monthly support. You'll be fine. The world tilted. Pause the support? Yes, it's time. It's $250, I said. It covers heat, groceries, it's not charity. You offered it because you wanted to give back. That was then, he said. Now Emily and I need space. Space from your own mother? I'm not arguing, he cut in. This is what's best. Voices in the background, Emily's bright tone. Ready, babe. Then the sound of a kiss. David, I said desperately. Do you love me? He hesitated. Of course. Then don't let me be erased. No one is erasing you, he said weary, and hung up. Minutes later, a text from Emily lit the screen. For clarity, please don't show up unannounced at our place. Text first. We're building a healthy environment. Hope you understand. My fingers shook as I typed. I won't show up unannounced, but I am David's mother. The dots appeared, then disappeared. No reply. By afternoon, Ruth came over. She slammed her phone on my table. Did you see this? Emily's Facebook post gleamed on the screen. Healthy couples protect their peace. No room for toxic energy. Comments stacked beneath. So proud of you, girl. Family first. Boundaries are everything. Do you see? Ruth said. She's painting you as toxic. I swallowed hard. Everyone knows who she means. Ruth crossed her arms. What are you going to do? Nothing, I said. If I fight, I lose him completely. You think silence will save you, she said. It only makes erasure easier. That evening, my phone buzzed again. A new group chat. Family updates. I blinked at the list. Emily, her mother, cousins, David. Seconds later, you were removed from family updates. A private text from Emily followed. Group chats are for our household. Thanks for understanding. I typed back, understood, but don't speak of me as a stranger while I am alive. No answer. Later, I scrolled through Facebook. Emily had posted a photo of brunch with her family. Caption, nothing better than time with those who truly care. Among the comments, David's heart emoji. I set the phone down. My eyes burned. That night, I pulled out an old folder labeled Records. Inside, the cashier's check I'd written for his down payment. The text from years ago. Let me send you $250 every month, Mom. Makes me feel like a man. I stared at it. Proof of a past that Emily couldn't rewrite. Proof that I mattered once. I whispered into the quiet. They can block me from their screens, but not from the truth. And with that, the first ember of fight lit inside me. By Monday morning, the silence had shape. I tried to text David. Picked up extra shift, don't worry about me. The bubble turned green, then failed. I dialed. A flat voice answered, the number you have dialed is not available. Blocked. At work, I stacked cans while coworkers whispered by the break room. Did you see Emily's post? Yeah, poor David. Tough mom situation. Boundaries are healthy. They looked at me and went quiet. I bent lower to the shelf, my face hot. That afternoon, Ruth stormed into my apartment waving her phone. Look. She shoved the screen at me. Emily's new Facebook post. Family isn't blood, it's who shows up with love. Beneath it, Linda, Emily's mother. So true. Blessed to call you both my kids. Cousin Tara, we've got your back forever. David, always babe? Ruth's jaw tightened. He typed that on a post denying you. I closed my eyes. He chose his side. On Tuesday, a knock rattled my door. My neighbor, Mrs. Green, held banana bread. You all right? Yeah. Honey? Folks are talking. What do you mean? They say your son cut you off, that you caused trouble at the wedding. My throat closed. I see. She patted my arm. Kids forget diapers don't change themselves. Don't you forget who you are. Her kindness stung worse than the gossip. Wednesday night, I created a new Facebook account. I searched David. His profile appeared, smiling in tuxedo, but before I could click, the screen flashed. Content unavailable. Blocked again. By Thursday, even church felt cold. After service, a woman I'd known 20 years asked softly, Margaret, are you okay? I heard David? Well, I shouldn't say. I smiled tight. I'm fine. She gave me that look. The look people give the fallen, the pitied. Friday, I tried once more. I called David from the store landline. He answered, surprised. Mom? Why from work? Because you blocked me. A pause. Boundaries, he said. Boundaries aren't walls, I snapped. They have doors. You slammed yours. I don't want constant conflict. Conflict is different from silence. I need space, he repeated. Space from your own mother? He exhaled. Please stop. The line went dead. Saturday morning, I found myself staring at the manila folder on my table. Records. Inside, screenshots, receipts, bank slips. Proof that I hadn't imagined decades of sacrifice. Proof that I wasn't the villain they painted, but proof meant nothing locked in a folder. That evening, another ping, a new group chat. Family updates. Participants, Emily, her mom, cousins, David. A second later, you were removed from family updates. Then Emily's private text. Family chats are for our household. Thanks for understanding. I typed back, hands shaking. I understand, but don't speak of me like a stranger while I'm alive. No answer. By Sunday, I cracked. I sent David a message from my new account. Do you still love me? Minutes later, a reply appeared, but not from him. Emily, Margaret, please stop. This is harassment. If you continue, we'll block every attempt. David needs peace. I typed, I am his mother, not harassment. The dots pulsed, then vanished, blocked again. That night, I sat in the dark. The apartment hummed. My phone lay face down. The world had shut me out, but I whispered anyway. They can block me everywhere, but they cannot block the truth. I lifted the folder. For the first time, it felt less like a weight and more like a weapon. The ember of fight inside me glowed brighter. By Monday morning, I'd had enough of silence. My name was smeared in whispers, but I still had proof. I pulled the records folder onto the kitchen table. Screenshots, bank slips, old texts. The weight of 20 years of sacrifice pressed into paper. I opened Facebook. My new account still worked. My hands trembled, but I typed. I never wanted to post this, but since stories are being told without me, here is my truth. I raised my son alone. I worked 2 jobs. I sold my wedding ring for his tuition. For years, I sent money, gave money, and when he married, I was placed at table 14. Yesterday, I learned I've been blocked from his life. Here are the receipts. I attached a screenshot. David's old text. Let me send you $250 every month, Mom. Makes me feel like I'm finally giving back. I hit post. It didn't take long. Within minutes, comments poured in. Ruth. All true. I watched Margaret give up everything for that boy. Mrs. Green, neighbor. She worked double shifts for years. Don't let anyone rewrite history. Old coworker. Remember her walking home from the diner at midnight? Always said it was for David. I sat frozen as the words stacked higher. By noon, Emily responded, on her page, boundaries protect families. Some people use proof to manipulate. We won't be baited. Her friends rallied, stay strong. Toxic parents always play victim. But under my post, witnesses kept coming. High school teacher, David wouldn't have graduated without Margaret paying for tutoring. Church elder, we saw her bring David every Sunday, alone, rain or shine. Public opinion split down the middle. The next day at work, coworkers eyed me differently, some sympathetic, some wary. During lunch, Mrs. Green knocked on the break room door. You stirred a hornet's nest, she said softly, but you're not alone. People saw what you did. I saw it. Her words were steady. For the first time in weeks, I felt less erased. That evening, my phone rang from an unknown number. I answered. David's voice sharp. Mom, what did you do? I told the truth. You embarrassed me. You embarrassed me at your wedding. He swore under his breath. Emily's family is furious. You've made this public. You made me invisible, I shot back. I had no other choice. This isn't helping, he said. People are calling me greedy, ungrateful. Are you? I asked quietly. He didn't answer. Hours later, another notification. Someone had shared my post, then another. By midnight, it had spread beyond our circle. Old neighbors, classmates, co-workers, all chiming in. Some defended David, but more remembered my sacrifices. The narrative was shifting. On Wednesday, Emily's cousin Tara messaged me privately. "You didn't deserve table 14. I saw it. It was wrong." I stared at the message, a crack in their wall, proof that witnesses weren't just mine, they were inside Emily's family too. By Friday, the weight of silence had lifted. I still felt bruised, but I wasn't alone in the dark anymore. My story was out. People saw. People remembered. Emily could block my number. David could cut my money. But the truth now lived outside their control, and it was only the beginning. By Monday, the silence broke with a voicemail from Lakeside Credit Union. "This is Stephanie from Lakeside. We've been trying to reach David and Emily about the Maple Street mortgage. Please call." I called back. "Are you the co-borrower?" she asked. "I'm his mother." She hesitated. "The account is 92 days delinquent. If payment isn't made by Friday, we'll file a notice of default. Also, the home equity line has been frozen." My heart thudded. That evening, David and Emily appeared at my door. Their faces were tight, desperate. "Mom, please," David said quickly. "We need your signature to refinance, just a formality." "What signature?" Emily stepped forward. "Acknowledgement paperwork. If you sign, we can roll debts together and lower the payment. It's temporary." I laid the voicemail transcript on the table. "You're 3 months behind, and there's an e-signature with my name. Who clicked it?" David swallowed. "I did. I thought it was just a duplicate of the gift letter. The system filled your name. I shouldn't have." "So you signed in my name?" Silence. I called Ruth and Mrs. Green. We met in Mrs. Green's living room, her phone recording on the table. David brought the file: mortgage delinquent, HELOC maxed, even a short-term loan at nearly 25% interest. Emily's jaw was tight. "We just need Mom to re-sign the consent," she said. "Without it, we can't refinance." "No," I said, "not unless conditions are clear." I read out my terms. No co-signing, no occupancy affidavit in my name. I cure arrears directly with the lender, not through them. House must be listed for sale within 30 days. Any profit pays me back first. Emily scoffed. "Delusional." Ruth leaned forward. "Or realistic. You're drowning." David stared at his hands. "If we don't sell, we lose everything." "You already are," I said calmly, "but you won't take me with you." Emily stood furious. "She wants to control you forever." "No," I said evenly. "I want the truth and protection." David's shoulders slumped. "We'll take the terms." Emily gasped. "You can't," but he didn't look at her. "I signed her name. That's on me. If selling is the way out, we'll sell." Emily stormed out, the door slamming behind her. The next morning at Lakeside, Stephanie read the notarized agreement. "You're paying arrears only, directly to us. File marked with your dispute. No new loans in your name." "Correct," I said. "Be careful what you agree to next," she warned. "I wrote what comes next," I replied. 2 days later, a for sale sign sprouted on their lawn. Emily posted about new adventures and simplifying, but neighbors knew better. Comments were cautious, some openly skeptical. Tara, her cousin, messaged me privately. "I know you forced this. Honestly, they needed forcing." That night, David texted from a new number. "Thank you. I'm sorry." I stared at the words. My reply was simple. "We're not done." This was the real twist. The emergency pulled their pride into the open. The money tied us together again, but now on my terms. For the first time, I wasn't just surviving their decisions. I was holding the rope, and I was ready for the confrontation that had to come next. The for sale sign stood like a white flag on their lawn. Neighbors slowed their cars, whispered on sidewalks. Emily kept posting about fresh starts and new horizons, but the comments were fewer, colder. Some asked about the mortgage. She never answered. I knew the reckoning would come. And it did, on a wet Thursday evening when David called from yet another new number. "Mom," he said, voice low, "Emily's family wants a meeting. Tonight. They say you've poisoned everything. Please come. We need to end this." "Where?" "The community hall." "Good," I said. "I'll bring witnesses." The hall smelled of floor polish and damp coats. Folding chairs circled under buzzing fluorescent lights. On one side, David and Emily, stiff-backed. Beside them, Emily's mother, Linda, arms crossed, her cousins whispering. On the other, Ruth with her notebook, Mrs. Green with her phone recording, two neighbors who had stepped forward online. I took my seat in the middle. Let's begin. Emily jumped in first. Margaret has slandered us. Her posts are lies. She humiliated us publicly. I opened the records folder and slid out the first page, the screenshot of David's 2017 text. Let me send you $250 every month, Mom. Makes me feel like a man. This is his promise, I said, not my lie. Murmurs rippled through the room. David flushed. That was years ago. Things changed. Then why hide it? Ruth asked sharply. Linda leaned forward. Families don't air dirty laundry. Margaret, you embarrassed everyone. You cost David business. I met her eyes. You cost me my place at my son's wedding. Gasps. Even Emily's cousins shifted uncomfortably. Mrs. Green tapped her phone. We're recording. Stick to facts. I pulled out the Lakeside letter. Fact, 3 months delinquent. Fact, a forged e-consent with my name. Fact, I paid the arrears directly to the bank under terms requiring sale. All notarized. I slid the signed agreement across the table. Witness signatures glared from the bottom. Emily's voice rose. You manipulated him into selling our home? You manipulated him into lying, I shot back. Say it, David. He rubbed his forehead. I clicked her name. I shouldn't have. Silence. The admission landed like a stone in water. One cousin whispered, That's fraud. Emily snapped, Shut up, but the damage was done. Witnesses nodded. Mrs. Green's phone kept recording. I leaned in, my voice steady. You erased me once, but this time I decide how the story ends. The room went still. David's eyes glistened. Mom, I'm sorry. I was desperate. I thought I could fix it. Emily said, Don't put this on me. Emily barked. You're weak. You always run to her. The cousins flinched. Linda hissed. Emily, stop. But Emily was unraveling. She wants to own you. She wants to make you crawl. I rose, folder in hand. No, Emily, I wanted my son to stand, and he never did until now. I turned to David. Choose truth with consequences or lies. With her. The room held its breath. David lowered his head. Truth. Emily's chair scraped back. Then you can sell your precious house without me. She stormed out, slamming the door so hard the lights rattled. Linda buried her face in her hands. The cousins looked at the floor. David stayed seated, shoulders shaking. For the first time, I saw the boy who had once needed me, stripped of pride and excuses. Mrs. Green clicked off the recording. That's your final blow, Margaret. It's on record. Everyone heard. Ruth touched my arm. It's done. I exhaled. Not yet, but it will be, because this was more than a fight. It was a verdict. Witnesses had seen, heard, recorded. The erasure failed. The story had been rewritten, this time by me. The community hall emptied like a storm had passed. Emily was gone, her mother trailing after her. Only David lingered, shoulders hunched, hands limp at his sides. Ruth gathered her notebook. Mrs. Green slipped her phone into her purse. The neighbors offered quiet nods before leaving us alone. For the first time in weeks, there was no audience, just me and my son. He spoke first. Mom, I don't know where to start. Start with the truth, I said. His eyes filled. I messed up. I lied. I chose Emily over you. I thought I was protecting my marriage, but I was really protecting my pride, and it cost everything. I sat across from him. You cost me too. You cost me dignity at your wedding. You cost me a place in your home. You cost me the peace of believing my sacrifices meant something. He swallowed hard. I know, and I can't take it back. We sat in silence, the hum of the fluorescent lights filling the space. Finally, he whispered, Do you hate me? I shook my head slowly. Hate would mean I stopped caring. I don't hate you, David, but I don't trust you, not yet. His shoulders sagged. You have a choice, I continued. You can sell the house, clear your debt, and start over honestly, or you can chase lies again. But if you choose lies, you choose life without me. He nodded, wiping his face. I'll sell. I'll fix it. Fixing it doesn't mean earning back my money, I said firmly. It means earning back my word. That takes time. That night, Ruth drove me home. Are you going to forgive him? She asked. I don't know, I admitted. Forgiveness isn't free. He has to prove he deserves it. You sounded strong in there, she said. I sounded tired, I replied. Tired of being erased. In the weeks that followed, the for sale sign drew buyers. Emily moved into her mother's condo. Rumors swirled, but for once the gossip wasn't about me, it was about them. David came by twice a week. He didn't ask for money. He brought groceries, shoveled my walkway, fixed a leaky faucet. Little things. Each one felt like a brick in a wall he was trying to rebuild. One evening he said softly, I know words aren't enough. I'll show you. Just give me time. I nodded. I'll give you time. Not trust, not yet. Just time. One Sunday at church, Mrs. Green slipped into the pew beside me. You held your ground, she said. That's not cruelty. That's clarity. I smiled faintly. Clarity is all I have left. Forgiveness wasn't a yes or no that day. It became a daily decision to open the door when David knocked but not hand over my keys, to listen but not forget. I had carried him for decades. Now he would have to walk toward me on his own. Closure didn't mean tying everything in a bow. It meant setting down the weight I never should have carried. I would not erase him, even if he had tried to erase me. But I would not erase myself either. And that balance between love and boundary was where I chose to stand. The house sold in late spring. A young couple bought it, their toddler running circles through the empty living room as David handed over the keys. Emily didn't show up. By then, she had filed for separation and moved in permanently with her mother. David stood on the curb with the check from closing in his hand. He looked at me. I'll transfer your share tonight. I nodded. Good, but remember, money was never the only debt. He didn't argue. He simply said, I know. Life quieted after that. I went back to my routines. Morning coffee, shifts at the store, evenings on my porch. Ruth stopped by with pie, Mrs. Green with news from the neighborhood. For the first time in years, my days felt like mine. David visited too, less often but differently. No requests, no excuses, just presence. He mowed my lawn, fixed a screen door, sat with me at dinner. Sometimes he spoke of regret. Sometimes he simply listened. I didn't erase him, but I didn't let him erase me either. One evening, I looked through the lavender clutch I'd carried at the wedding. I'd kept it tucked away, unable to face it. Inside was the folded program from that day, stained with a teardrop. I set it down on the table. For months, that clutch had symbolized humiliation, but as I touched it now, I realized it also symbolized endurance. I had survived the worst day a mother could face and chosen not to vanish. I whispered aloud, I choose me. The words didn't feel selfish. They felt like survival. Forgiveness remained complicated. Some days I leaned toward it, other days away, but every day I chose dignity. Every day I chose not to give my voice away again. The woman who sat at table 14 was gone. The woman who stood in the community hall, folder in hand, had taken her place. That woman was me. If you've listened this far, thank you. Tell me in the comments, what would you have done in my place? And don't forget to subscribe to Revenge Stories U60 USA because stories like mine deserve to be heard.